Hi, it's Angie. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for being here. So I think it's Monique Sabatursky. I think that was her maiden name. Forgive me if I say the pronunciation wrong about that, but we know, yeah, I'm talking a little bit about this because I've been getting these dreams. I can't even detail them anymore. But this could be hindsight is 2020. Maybe they will end up on 2020 or Dateline one day. Now, I think something significantly fell on deaf ears here. I said it yesterday, were they all tone deaf? Because it felt to me that Monique was displaying narcissistic abuse to an epic level. Now, is there something else? Yeah, so I've got friends in high places. That is the lyric that came, that is the lyric that came to me. Now, I kind of, for myself, because I did raise a child out of wedlock, and I would have found it exhausting for me on a personal level to have all those parties or to have all those people at my house all the time. I even found it exhausting to be the center of a lot of people's universe. We as well had a lot of these friends. I kind of like to call them, like, I don't know why I hear hillbillies, but we had a variety of friends. And it just feels to me that maybe Monique and Spencer were the center of a lot of people's universe. Because I'm thinking of Gina, and I'm also thinking of one of the family members stood up during the wedding ceremony and said that how generous that Monique and Spencer were. So were they caught in a trap and they couldn't get out? Now, okay, so that's just the beginning of my video, because I do have a lot of questions because I am from Canada. I question a lot of things. Now, I'm just curious how they were able to get that jury indictment in another state, for starters. I don't comprehend a lot of the judicial system in the United States. And you know, I understand the fighting the jurisdiction. I understand that, but was he even arraigned yet? Has he even pled something? I don't even understand all this. So this kind of confuses me. Now, that's for starters. Now, I also have, because we see on that indictment, the robbery or the robbery, was it like a break-in or something like that, entering the house unlawfully. It really speaks volumes to me. Something here doesn't seem right, because every photo I've seen of the Tepe residence, there's a security sign plopped right on the grass there or outside, which is the same thing that we have. I'm kind of confused, and this is where I don't understand this still. Was it, Larry would know, the dog, the golden, or the Labradoodle, or if that's what he is, would know exactly what happened. This is why it feels a lot like an O.J. Simpson case. Is the Ohio or the Columbus, Ohio Police Department going to be put on trial here? That's what it feels like where this is going. Now, you know, because they talk a lot about that Gina opened her mouth. They're going to dissect Monique's and Spencer's life, because this guy is fighting for his life, literally fighting for his life. So that's where I'm just going to start here, and maybe they will be putting that. Somebody was maybe really frumpy here, but that's a frumpy cat. But how much of somebody possibly needed therapy here, or maybe she did go to therapy here, her being Monique. But how intense was this guy's hatred for each other? So anyways, so those are just a couple of the questions that I'm putting out there. You can choose to listen to this or not. It feels like all of this maybe could have been prevented. Maybe I'm just putting People that live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, because I suffered narcissistic abuse and I was around some incredibly toxic people, right? So I've got friends in high places. So let's see what the cards say today. Everything here is for entertainment purposes only. It can screw up your mind. Narcissism can screw up your mind. Narcissistic abuse plays with your mind. Now, someone did leave a comment that Monique, remember, we're just doing victimology, graduated from with the child care education, but didn't pursue a career in it. Was that because she wasn't interested in it? Anyways, so, this Elvis Presley, no, that's not Elvis Presley, When the Clock Strikes One. We're going to rock around the clock tonight. We're going to rock, rock, rock. So were these parties going around the clock? Because we see one photo that somebody put on Facebook. They're hiding a child's face in there. And it feels like these, maybe, I don't know. So let's keep in mind, this is for entertainment purposes only. We're not perfect people. A lot of us have had children out of wedlock. A lot of us married somebody that, this is a little bit of a detangler here. Maybe there's more to this. I don't know. I don't want to presume anything, but I listen to a lot of YouTubers, and the gossip has begun. Oh, we're dealing with the doctors. We're dealing with poison ivy at work, poison ivy in the house. These are the many heads, okay? So this is the doctor and the lawyer. This is injustice for all. You can't handle the truth. This is where the doctors, this is the legal beagles that are going to come in and put most likely an incredible defense on here. So we've got the doctor, right? Dr. Danger or Dr. Evil, and we're going to see how high society operates. I don't even know but it is the professional. I work with a lot of these professionals, and somebody got away by the skin of their teeth, but maybe that was her. Maybe that's Monique that got away by the skin of her teeth. Well, we see that they got him, but it doesn't take much. I'm playing the devil's advocate here. It doesn't take much to taint the jury's mind with it's not that they deserved it, but it just takes one. We had the false alibi already. They're going to try to quash everything that he said. Okay, so good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is my regular off the cuff. Okay, so let's take one, because these are very dangerous people. Now, who was it? This maternity or paternity card comes up, right? It's somebody somebody maybe knocked some sense into somebody. They did have two wonderful children. I think Gina spoke a little bit about the little girl. Is it Emilia? Her little, maybe a little bit temperamental. I don't know. I'm just trying to I'm just going to say this. It's very difficult when they lose loved ones like that, because life goes on. There's a lyric to that. Oh, life goes on, but their lives stop. Even the office stops, because these two, they were two peas in a pod. Possibly both had maternal and paternal instincts. It seems like that. Someone's had high hopes here. Maybe this Dr. McKee had high hopes and expected to be living that life. Okay, so let's take one from the Guardian Angel deck, because narcissistic abuse is no joke. Someone came to my channel and kind of laughed about it, that I'm reminding people. Well, I'm going to tell you something, and this may be a little bit rude. It will bring you to your knees, okay? It will absolutely stop you in your tracks. The cunning and manipulative behavior that a narcissist operates, and consider yourself lucky if you have not crossed the path of this type of animal. Okay, so I'm taking one because there are many people that have had long marriages, lifelong relationships with a bunch of doorknobs. I'm just curious about that alarm system. Okay, so I'm going to pull this. Oh, yeah, this is the return to sender card. Okay, so this feels like this is the return to sender. Okay, this is epic. This case to me is epic. And that Elvis Presley card did come up the other day. Maybe what happened at the Tepe residence should have stayed at the Tepe residence. That's like the Graceland. That was her Graceland. Now, I'm taking one because I'm curious. Maybe Dr. Tepe Spencer Tepe got up early to let the dog out. Who let the dog out? And maybe that's when this deranger, Dr. McKee, sees the opportunity. Because I don't think the alarm was going off, the bells and whistles were going off. There's a silencer on the gun now. We're aware of that now. And he's been indicted. So silence is golden. Maybe a lot of these people are going to keep quiet about it. Maybe they should have kept quiet about it. Or maybe they should have alerted something. And I don't even know if any of the family called. I think it was all the co-workers, rightfully so. But I don't know why that Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, that's the FBI, that's the TBI, right? So TBI. Anyways, so I'm taking one here as well. And Snickerdoodles. What is that? Is that the type of dog that they have? Well, that would be Larry. Larry would have seen or heard everything. So, okay, so it's kind of like doing the monster mash. I think they must have had a lot of parties at that house. I know we did. So I'm taking one from the, here we go again. This is incredible that this card comes up twice. This is the Scholastic. This is the doctor and the dentist card. This is, jealousy. There was intense jealousy. Somebody with a spool of thread here. That's the justice card. I'm just surprised when cards come up like that. That's a doctor and a lawyer slash some lawyers become doctors. Some have more than one degree. I know this particular person is an engineer slash lawyer, but incredible tempers, right? They have, a lot of them are very, very anal. Okay. This is the he said, she said. Okay, so let's take one here. It feels like, I knew this card. I had a feeling, okay? I had a feeling there's a song to that too. The neighbors. Were the neighbors aware of the regularity of this couple? Like, did that garage door go open at a certain time? Because this is the next door card. This is something to do with the next door card, okay? Because I can predict, I'm not talking about my psychic predictions, but I know at every time at a certain time, that garage door goes open because this is very, very anal type of people. That could be Dr. McKee was extraordinarily anal and they watch you all the time. This is also the liberal card because I've said, for those that follow my channel, I never expected to meet a fireman that is like the guy next door. He called me a biatch 3 times. I never expected, because I was hoodwinked. I thought every fireman were nice, not this guy next door. That's why I created a card. You'll never know who I'm talking about. I don't even know if they still live there. But one thing I do know is there's an elastic band here that was probably pushed to the limit. But one thing that I do know is, something with bedrock. It's not the Flintstones. We're not dealing with the Flintstones here anymore. But is the analness. Okay, some of these types of personalities are extraordinarily detailed and routine. That's why they knew right away when Dr. Tepe didn't come to work, something's off. I don't listen for this cuckoo bird next door, but there's a lot of people that do. I don't even know why I rambled on about that. All I'm going to say is, again, take your time when you move into a neighborhood, when you retire, and getting to know your neighbors, because if you live next door to this one, the fence becomes your best friend. And I think the Tempes did have a really nice fence in the background. I said it already. She met what is equivalent to the Princess Bride, but they were, they weren't compatible. She filed the divorce papers being not compatible. Not compatible is not compatible. We don't get along. She may have went along to get along until you can't do it anymore. Yeah, significant distance. She did create significant distance, but perhaps not far enough. Significant distance can help you heal from narcissistic abuse, and I'm not saying that that was her fault, but take your time in getting to know your neighbors. And it is getting, somebody was extraordinarily hot under the collar. I know someone was extraordinarily hot under the collar when I moved here, trying to control me. This can happen. This can happen in your neighborhood. That's what they're looking for. It's all about control. How can I control you? These are relationships, whether it's at work, whether it's in your family or your best friends. These are relationships that are formed very fast. And it feels like some of these friends that were around Monique and Spencer were young and restless. It's like a clue game here. It was like a clue game here. That Gina was spewing stuff. Why would anybody think it was Rob? Why would anybody think it was the doctor, the dentist, that guy that owns it? Larry knows. Larry knows. This is a little Larry situation. Too many, I'm not going to say that. Okay, so welcome to my channel. It's a wide variety of stuff today. And was he walking around that yard that long in that freezing cold? Was he sitting in his car? What was he doing? We don't know enough yet, but something with the door knocker, you know, because he would have to be like incredibly intelligent if he picked that lock. And if he picked that lock, that alarm, that security alarm would have just been blasting. That was somebody there that night? This is where my mind wanders. Was somebody there that night that was visiting and possibly didn't set the alarm when they left, and he just happened to show up on that night? I would find that, like I said, there are no coincidences, but that would be I don't want to say divine intervention, but that would be, there's a thorn. Somebody was a thorn here. This was the neighbor. That would be impossible, almost impossible, but never say never. So this thorn, okay, so let me describe this. You know, this is very curious to me. This is very, very curious to me because like I just said, Gina spilled the beans that maybe it was Rob that killed that couple. Was there a lot of hidden crushes here? Again, somebody was insinuating, was it the dentists or the owner? Because I know this person very well. She had her eyes on my husband and I couldn't figure it out. Okay, so you can easily be hanging around people. I'll tell you a little story here because I have all the time in the world. I remember this person was my next door neighbor. And every single time some guy came to my house, whether it was my brother-in-law, she would get all dolled up and, you know, make herself look available. Didn't matter. It didn't matter if the guy was taking a lot. A lot of women are attracted to men that are attached. once upon a time, and it was during just the beginning of, it might have been in 2018, a whole bunch of us, a gang, went on a trip, like a faraway trip to the Dominican Republic. It was the one and only time I went on a trip with someone. It was during that trip that I recognized that this particular person, that was a neighbor of mine for a very long time, took it upon herself to take a picture of my husband. And I said to myself, I put it in the back of my head, that's interesting. Why are you taking a picture of my husband? And she spent that whole trip trying to sit beside my husband. This was a single white female. I don't know. She was a little bit obsessed with our life. Then I realized, fast forward, when we decided to pull the pin and relocate, she was the only one that showed up with her little blueberry basket, coming to our house and saying, I don't want you guys to move. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the house was already for sale. But that really, it stuck in my mind again. And this one had a toilet, had the mouth of a toilet, like the toilet water. Like really, really nasty, nasty, nasty person, making sexual innuendo comments all the time. I'm telling you, I hung around with some very, very unhinged people. And she worked in the medical profession. She worked in the operating room with these surgeons. She was the one that cleaned the instruments, but she had a hell of a potty mouth. Anyway, so when we relocated, she didn't call me on my birthday. She called my husband on her birthday. The reason that I'm saying this is I just find it really interesting that Gina blurted out that there was possibly someone else involved in possibly this couple, or one or both of them. I just had to tell you that story because spirit works through people, and there's a lot of jealousy. This was what he was. Dr. McKee was a thorn in Monique's side, and in that couple's side, and in that whole gang side. He was a significant thorn in that whole dynamics of that family and all of their friends, because they're all talking about it. And why am I feel like I'm yelling? Because I'm not. So anyways, I have a lot of stories because I hung around some very unhealthy people. And this one, a drug addict, right? So, but I have friends in high places. Okay, so I just thought I'd have to tell you that story because it resonates with me. Because I hung around, and I'm sure a lot of people out there that have YouTube channels can speak volumes about, or that are listening to me can speak about this as well. That's why I say start a YouTube channel, because people are somebody will listen to you out there. Somebody was on the heels of something here, cracking this case. And I will say, if you decide to leave, she did an epic move, Monique, as she left. She packed up the U-Haul. We did the same thing. We left them high and dry. So I just wonder who's going to be the center of the universe now in that gang that hung around Monique and Spencer. Took me a long time to figure this out. Took me a long time to figure out that the majority of people that I was hanging around with way 30 and 40 years ago were narcissists, highly narcissistic people. They didn't have our best interests. Somebody was tooting their own horn here. Somebody was tooting the horn. This happens sometimes. It's like, this, how do I explain this? Somebody enjoyed the Tempes, the status of the Tempes, or the availability of the Tempes. Probably lots of partying going on, probably lots of free food, free booze. It felt like it was exactly what me and my husband were. And most likely a very giving couple. That's what happens that's what happens. You can attract a lot of unhealthy people. Now, this is the bombastic card. That's that cowboy out there. There's a cowboy out there, thinks that they're the smartest one in the Elvis Presley community. I'm going to tell you that that card comes up a lot, okay? Because Elvis Presley, I started this video by saying what happened in Graceland should have stayed in Graceland. And maybe this is just a reminder, is what happened behind closed doors should have kept behind closed doors, but it doesn't happen that way because you have a lot of people that enjoy the limelight. Okay, so I'm going to round up this video because this is a little bit longer, but stalking the thorn in her side was Dr. McKee to the so far. Toodaloo, that's what she said to him. And I said toodaloo to that Elvis Presley club. For those that do follow my channel, they know what I'm talking about because I'm telling you, I attracted some very, very narcissistic, highly bombastic people, even from a book club. Oh, I think she did like to read too. Monique liked to read. Okay, so this certainly did fall on deaf ears, and so I guess it's stay tuned. So have a wonderful day. I'm taking one from the Powerful Guardian Angel card. Not that easy to pick up and you know, move on. It's almost like she was climbing a Mount Everest. There's a saying out there. I was near. Yeah, you never promised you a rose garden. Anyways, oh yeah, this Phoenix rising. I do believe in reincarnation. I love tarot. I love the Phoenix rising. I've said I see myself as the Queen of Wands, which is the Queen of Fire. Okay, so I did a bounce back, and hopefully they'll be able to pin the tail on the donkey here and get to the bottom of really how this whole thing happened. Because narcissistic abuse didn't look good on her, didn't look good on me, and it certainly didn't look good on her. Okay, so have a wonderful day wherever you are. Like, subscribe if you wish. It's all done. Enjoy.